Hi, and welcome back to the laboratory. Today I thought I would show you some of the other things that I do to fix, repair, and restore G.I. Joes and their equipment. Um, First thing I do is I do buy a lot of parts from Cotswolds. This is their new set of boots, short black vintage boots, or vintage style boots, and you can see they're pretty close. I'm sure there's some kind of mark on here somewhere that would make it obvious that they're not vintage. The previous boots that Cotswold sold as vintage replacements were like this. They had the heel on them, so you could tell right away just at a glance that they weren't vintage. But we're close enough. They look pretty good on a figure. Oops. And they also have Cotswold stamped on the bottom. These ones don't, but it's alright. They'll make a good substitute for what we're going to do here today. Yeah. Also got this pilot's helmet at Cots. It's a fairly decent copy of the original G.I. Joe fighter pilot helmet. This one's in yellow, obviously. Good stuff and not too expensive. Okay. When I restore a figure, I've already shown you restringing in my video about that. Obviously, I also wash the heck out of it. I tear the figures apart whether they need restringer or not and wash the heck out of them. Some turn out looking pretty good. The last two that I picked up yesterday, I got very lucky. This is original flock in very good condition. Not seeing any problems here. Anyhow, this guy will need an eyebrow touch-up. But the main thing I wanted to show you here was getting all the dust and crap out of his hair. I just throw these heads into water along with the body parts, and then I scrub the heck out of them with mild soap. And if the hair falls off, so be it. Then I can reflock them. I'd rather have that happen while I'm cleaning them than to have it happen a month down the road while I'm trying to put a helmet on them or something. What I do to clean off the rest of the dirt, dust, and lint inside the head or inside the hair, maybe just take a stiff bristled toothbrush and just brush downwards, down along the beard, mustache, along the whole head. And this seems to do a pretty good job of getting the flock or the dirt out of the flocking and the lint and all the other things. If you scrape it on here like this at an angle to get those bristles underneath that flock and down to the head surface underneath, pulls up quite a bit. Going backwards and pushing up this way, the opposite way from the way you started, gets more of it out as well. I give each, even when I'm done flocking a head, freshly flocking one, I do this too to remove the loose flock and any stray bits of odds and ends that may have gotten into the hair while I was doing the flock job. And I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, next I want to show how I replace stickers on vehicles, outfits, everything. Picked up this copter rescue jumpsuit, pretty decent shape, little light staining, nothing bad, good and displayable. We'll get an AT sticker on here and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Be right back. Okay, back. Alright, this is the size sticker I use for the uniforms. They're 5/8 of an inch across, and I find that they are just about the right size. I honestly don't know what the original size was. I'd have to find one and measure it. These are big enough without looking too goofy, I think. I use this stuff. It's a gloss clear paint, and I just give it a blast on the paper and let it dry a little bit, and it seems to protect the sticker, and even has a certain amount of water resistance. for cutting them out, a pair of small mustache or nail file scissors with a curved end like this, so that it gently matches the curve around the sticker. So we'll get this cut out. I'm going to do this off camera. It's easier for me to see with it close up to my face. Okay, cut out. Then the next thing I do, I take some clear packing tape. Again, we're going to do this. I'm going to pick the tape open off camera here. It's getting older. It's a little tougher to see up close nowadays. Just tear off a piece big enough for the sticker. For these little ones, I will usually do this. This is just to protect the sticker and give it some shininess. Just lay it on the packing tape, keeping the packing tape nice and flat. If you screw up and crease the packing tape, then it looks crappy and you gotta start all over again. And then again, take the scissors, cut the packing tape away from the edge. Okay, sticker cut out, packing tape applied. Now for attaching it, if it's going to go on a uniform, I'll generally use double-faced tape. Sticks pretty good, and you can get it off if you need to, and the little bit of adhesive left on the uniform comes off pretty easily. If I'm putting them on vehicles, I generally will use just some glue stick like you see over there, or at times I will also use like a rubber glue or a rubberized fabric glue, and that holds on pretty well too. I wouldn't advise using the fabric glue on the uniforms themselves, reason being because it's very messy. I haven't had, it works, but I haven't had a lot of success keeping it from getting everywhere else, and it does tend to soak through the paper as well. So put your double-faced tape on the back, and do the same thing again with the little scissors. Just cut that extra tape away. Okay, and then put her on the uniform where you need it, right about there. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, cool. For this helmet, I'm going to do the same thing. I use a smaller sticker for these. I'll show you. These ones, as you can see, are somewhat smaller. They are, let's see, about 1/2 inch. These ones, sometimes I'll do this as well. I'll take a strip of tape and I'll prepare a bunch of stickers at once by getting the tape over them and putting the lacquer on and getting them ready to rock and roll. I was going to do a couple helmets. For a curved surface like this, it's best to use the double-face tape. That way you can force the sticker to lie flat. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Cut it out again and get the tape on, and I'll be right back. Okay, back again. And you just take it, and I usually just lay down one side of it very gently and look and see if the positioning is correct. And if it is, then I flatten it down. For smaller stickers and for ones that are real stubborn to hang on to, I'll just go ahead and use a pair of tweezers or my trusty miniature pointed needle nose pliers. There we go. Okay. I've added a few things to the Cop the Rescue jumpsuit, and obviously the helmet. You got the red binoculars. And I think we're going to put this yellow vest on him too, which will require another AT sticker, of course. I'm crazy about that. I tend to put AT stickers on everything. Each vehicle gets one on each side, and sometimes more if they don't look visible enough to me. I just think it's a cool symbol, and I like having it on my stuff. Okay. Let's get this figure popped back to, or I'll get this figure popped back together off camera. I've already shown a restringing video, so refer to that if you need to see my method there. And I'll be right back, and we'll get the figure back together, get him dressed. And before that, we'll give him a little eyebrow paint, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, figure is restrung. Now we're going to show you the paint for the eyebrows. I use a toothpick. Let me get in front of the camera again here. I just simply use a simple toothpick, round end, and this paint here. I've had this jar for years. Model Master acrylic, and the color is burnt umber, which I was told way back in the day was the correct color for their eyebrows. I've noticed there is some variation, but usually it looks pretty good when you use this one. So as we shake this paint up and get it ready to go, there's Joe's head in the vise. This is the same kind of stick I use for flocking. It's a piece of PEX plumbing tubing. It's 5/8 inches in diameter, outside diameter. Fits right into a vintage neck hole perfectly. All right, I'm going to try and position the camera so you can see it while I'm actually doing it. You just lay him flat in the vise like this, clamp him down lightly. And it doesn't take much. I just take the toothpick, a little dab, just a drop, just about enough. I don't know if you can see that, to be falling off the toothpick. Come over to the Joe, and just very gently lay some paint on there, just like that. All right. Make sure you cover his whole eyebrow. He doesn't look quite right. And this stuff, being acrylic, dries really quick too, so also, over here I always have a few Q-tips in case I make a mistake. Very slight right there. There we go. Alright, so now he's got some new eyebrows. Alright, let me put the camera down. We'll show you what he looks like first. And that's pretty much what he looks like. All set to rock and roll. We'll just clamp him back into vise. Let his paint dry. Till we're ready to put him in his outfit. Okay, we're back. Paint is dry. I popped his head back on. You have a nice, tightly restrung, clean, and beautiful hair air adventurer, ready to go into his uniform. Next thing to complete his uniform is to fix this life vest. I've already put a couple of new clips on it. When I was a kid, I used to think that these, the bottom ones, went through, his legs went through, and then this one just wrapped around the arm. Wasn't until I started collecting and saw one that actually had these clips that I realized how it was supposed to work. So anyhow, all I use to fix stuff like this, baling wire. I've made heads, camo headsets, just all kinds of things this is useful for. Fixing cars, you can wire a muffler up with this baby. They're good for all kinds of things. Anyhow, I also use them to make the little pins that I use to repair things by drilling holes in them, as you've seen in a video or two. So as you can see, I just took a little piece and I twisted it with the handy dandy miniature needle noses again into a S shape, similar to the original. And I tied one down here into a roughly a circular shape. And we'll do that one more time over here. Real obvious and simple, I would think. Clip off a piece. Really need to get this camera positioned better. There we go. And we clip off a piece. Clip off a piece. There we go. Take it. And just start bending it into a circular shape. I usually brace it against my finger. Come on, focus. Sometimes it helps to use another pair of pliers, which I think I'll do here. There we go. And come on. There we go. And you get a little ring like that. I suppose you could also use like the split rings off of a small fishing lure or something like that. Hey, but this is about building it yourself. And once you get it done, my focus again. Okay. Once you get it finished, it should look like that. You separate the ends open again. And just take your little vinyl tag and slide it on there. Just like sliding a key onto a key ring, basically. Squish it shut. It does leave some sharp ends, so I usually will go ahead and just take a small file and clean them up a little bit so it doesn't tear anything or poke anything. There we have it. Flip the hook around and just hook them on there like that. Real similar to the original stuff. Okay, now let's get him dressed and see how he looks. By the way, I love the Copter Rescue jumpsuit color. It's just freaking awesome. That bright teal blue thing. Oh, yeah. Bright colors. It looks great on these guys. So great, I traded a Fight for Survival snowshoe for this one. Alright, let's see about the Cots boots. How do the new Cots boots work? Ooh, a little tight. They seem to be made out of a different kind of plastic too. Need to be a little razor trimmed here too, I think. Take a second and take care of that. A little bit of flashing going on there. Go. That's better. Let's do the same to the other one. There. Dunk. All right. I'll take his life vest. Over his collar. Flip it around there. Yes, another AT symbol. Come on. Doesn't look like that's going to want to stay on there. We'll have to crimp that down a little more on the S hook. There we go. Copter rescue binoculars in place. Helmet. And flashlight just because it looks cool. Ta-da! There we go. From start to finish, how to make a good looking AT figure. Okay. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions about the things I did or the materials I used, find me on Facebook. And you can message me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions about it. I want to make one more after this about this swamp craft over here. And so we'll see you shortly. Bye.